Hello, YouTube friends. Ben Ochart here. Thank you for tuning in. I want to revisit 2018 and the photos that were posted to Instagram, my favorites. This was my otter point that was considered actually as the logo, but was beat out by a young and very pretty Taiwan reef. You can see him as my channel logo. You can even see him on the t-shirts that are offered under my videos. He went on to become a real beautiful fish, continues to be one, as you can see in these photos here. Just a great specimen for a Taiwan reef. A series that was pretty popular in the Instagram photos were the then and now photos that showed fish when they were juvies and then after I had grown them out. These photos got a lot of comments and were actually included in one of my videos. Here's the Placidochromis gazelle, a young gazelle, before his body had colored up. Beautiful juvie. I'm a little bit obsessed with haps, as you know. I also documented in 2018 the turning of this mess here into this tank that you see here. And that was a very fun project, covered in a video. I'll put the link below. And I was looking for a fish that I was obsessed with, and certainly the Fusco would fall in that category. But even more so, the flavescent seemed to get a lot of my attention, and I found myself posting a lot of photos of my young flavescent, one of my favorite peacocks, and certainly gets a lot of admiration and comments. Certainly a peacock that I suggest, that I strongly recommend to anybody who's setting up a peacock tank. But the obsessions increase here as we move along and you see the red cap. This fish is just a great fish to photograph. For some reason, I'm kind of blessed with a fish that is usually always very fired up, always looking good, and very, very photogenic. The Xerox doesn't seem to get a lot of attention, but I think he's a beautiful fish, photographs really well with that great streak on his forehead. And of course the deepwater Electra, as you probably know, one of my favorite fish. Beautiful blues going into purple and markings on the dorsal. Some of these photographs were enhanced a bit by Google. Sometimes Google Photos will tighten up the color a bit and then offer it back to me. You can see that here on this Eureka Red, another fish that I tend to photograph quite a bit. One of my favorite peacocks, as you know. 2018 was also when I paid a visit to some of my friends, like Evan, over in Texas at the American Cichlid Association meeting. And we had a good time hanging out, checking out fish. I was also able to meet with Jay, someone who I'd been watching on YouTube for a long time and had the pleasure of finally meeting. Another fish I tend to obsess a lot about is this Venusis that I grew out from a little 1-inch, half-inch fry, and he has just turned into a beast. One of the reasons I think I photograph him so much is not just because I'm so impressed by him, but also because he's a ham. He always comes up right to the glass, stares me down, very easy to photograph. Here's one with a little color enhancement by Google. Very pretty fish. And here's the polystigma. And I haven't seen him colored up, not since that Venusis took over. The blue neon, beautiful fish. I also take a lot of shots of the Maduka white lips, a Placidochromis that has, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful shades of blue that you can get in a fish. You can see him here. The contrast against the lips is beautiful. And of course the Placidochromis johnsoni. This fish actually ended up getting pretty fired up. I was able to capture it on film, and he turned into the YouTube logo, the YouTube icon, and just a beautiful fish. But no fish, I think, is photographed more than the Otopharynx tetrastigma. And I want you to notice something here. These first photos are taken over a white crushed coral substrate. Check out the body, the color, and then I want you to look at this. This is over a dark gray substrate. This even shocked me when I went back and looked at it, and really emphasized for me the difference that substrate can make in how a fish is showing its colors. Definitely the fish I've obsessed the most over, and certainly the one I photograph and probably film the most. And you can see why. He's just a very beautiful fish. Some up-and-comers include that red shoulder that I picked up at a local fish store. Very pretty fish. Sometimes that red really pops. And of course we can't forget my 3-spot torpedo, who I just used as the cover in my last video. And of course Los Tres Amigos, which I've had for many years, cohabitating successfully with cichlids. Here's my lemon Jake, one of my prettiest photos of him. And this picture got a lot of attention and ultimately became the logo of the channel. And with that in mind, I think I'll end off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to comment, rate, share, and certainly sub if you haven't already. Thank you so much.